Whatever. Might just stop doing these. I don't know why. It's very frustrating, isn't it? Whatever. All right, we're back. Yes, I said whatever because I can't express my opinion because I will be cancel cultured. So guess what, everybody? Put on your happy face. Random Vegas chat. How you doing? My name is Steven, not leaving Las Vegas. You know, all of the YouTubers you know are just basically low-paid actors, and sometimes we have to just make you happy. So I'm going to make you guys happy. You're going to be happy. I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy that the casinos aren't closing down. I'm happy that my prophecy that said that August 1st was the casino shutdown date was accurate. I'm happy that I was able to go in and make that last video private before people decided that I didn't vibe with their politics, even though I was trying to be balanced and fair. And I'm happy that I don't have to tell you the truth on the channel anymore, because the new channel is just going to be, isn't Vegas great? And the circus is wonderful, and rainbows and unicorns and leprechauns and pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. Pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. What happened, Bob's Bugs, was that I started getting attacked for having an opinion, even though my opinion was not a pro anything opinion. It was just a we need to fix the problem opinion, but people didn't like it, so they wanted to cancel culture me. So now I'm here, and we're just going to talk about generic stuff. Look, I can't be balanced. One day I did it in a video. I did a video, and I had somebody tell me that my Trump derangement syndrome was showing, and then 2 comments later I had somebody tell me that I'm nothing but a Trumper. So no matter what I do, I'm kind of damned if I do, damned if I don't. Martin is here. Thank you, Martin. And Mr. Classic TV 1980 is here, and thank you guys. And I am just going to edit the first part of this video out in the studio, and I'll say, hi guys, welcome. I'm Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. We're going to talk about Vegas stuff right now. It's a great city. I think it's a good place. Ask me a question. Are you guys thinking of coming here? Do you guys think that you guys might want to take a trip? Are you comfortable with what's going on? For the information, for the record, we are not opening the bars in Clark County for at least a week. We're going to be focusing on different types of mitigation, and yeah, now I know what I can and cannot talk about on the channel, and I'm very happy some people pointed out how wrong I was. Jersey T is here. You guys are great. Thank you. We are set. Scotty is heading out to Vegas August 4th to the 1st to the 4th. Politics will always have conflicts. Can't satisfy everyone. Yeah, I guess not. Okay, feel the power, Todd says. Thank you so much. Opinions are like blanks. Everyone has one. That's true. Oh my God, I dropped water into my microphone. I might sound like I'm underwater now. Thank you, Cincinnati Kid. I appreciate you. People can't handle the truth, and they need to shove it down their throats. Leave Steven alone. Leave Brittany alone. Does anybody remember that old reference? Okay, I thought the governor gave a solid update. He did. I was trying to get to all that, but what bothered me about it was where he said things like, oh, we're finally going to do proper mitigation, and we're going to have a plan for it. Things like this, that doesn't demonstrate any leadership. That just demonstrates that you didn't have a plan to start with, and only now, 5 months in, when you've basically torn the economy apart, now you're trying to put it back together and hoping that the federal government passes something to get people extra insurance. That's not a very, employment insurance, that's not a very good plan. Thank you, Jack Batterson. 2 weeks till I'm there, August 4th. All right. Let's talk about Steve Sisolak's update again. So the long and short of it is that Steve Sisolak came out, said we're going to keep the bars closed in the major counties with lots of people for at least a week. In a couple of different counties, you can open up the bars. We also have a plan to properly track things down, even to the zip code. We're going to be enforcing masks. We're going to be enforcing socially distancing. We're going to be fining people heavily. I'm not a babysitter. You guys have to get over it. And what he essentially said was, we're not closing down the casinos. That's the most important part. The rant on Fox 5 will be good tonight. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Roman Lyons is talking about Fox 5 News. They have something called The Rant. That's where people just call in, and they just yell into a phone line. And sometimes they're very good. I don't know. You know, when I was a kid, by the way, can I share something personal with you guys? Is it okay? Maybe I should share it later if more people show up. Hi, Steven. Just want to say that you do a great job being the latest from Vegas from all of us. I appreciate all of your time and effort putting in a really good product. Some people are poop heads. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it's closer than I thought. I'm excited, Jack says. Okay. No, Vegas is not closing. That's what I said in my video update today, earlier. I like Sisolak's riddance of phases. Well, he didn't say we're getting rid of phases. He said we're not going to focus on specific industries. Maybe I read that incorrectly. So he's not going to say we have to close all the bars and only the bars, except that he didn't open up the bars. But he's not going to be like, we're going to close all the gyms. He said they're just going to focus on specific business types. 1,200 juice for everybody. We'll see if that happens, Juice Lone Jimmy. It might be that case. Traced by zip codes of Cali tourists. Well, I mean, look, it's going to be traced to zip codes. It's going to be 89103. That's the strip. That's where it's all going to come down to. Only 79 likes. Yeah, well, I lost my mind earlier. I feel really embarrassed. I had to delete that live stream. It's private now. You can't get to it because I was basically getting a little bit too heated, and I don't want to be dumping on you guys. Look, I could always make the clickbaity videos and stuff like that. I don't want to do that to you guys. I apologize for calling you a name. I enjoy your channel. I don't know what you called me, Ron. I think you basically called out my politics. I'm a very apolitical person. I just tell people how it is. And let's be honest, how it is that right now we test more than any other country, and we are finding more things, and we don't know if any of the tests are even good. It's such a weird disease. It's such a weird problem. I don't imagine that any other president would do any other different job with the information provided to him. I just don't think any governor could do any better job, be it D or R next to their name. It doesn't make sense. Paul says, keeping the faith, I'll be in Vegas August 27th. Thank you. Yeah, please share. Thank you for being your honest self, just human. Thank you, Event Alone. You're great. Let's see here. That was poor sportsmanship. It's YouTube, unsubbed. Okay, BH just unsubbed. That's fine. See you later, buddy. I appreciate you guys even looking at the channel. That's fine. If you really want to unsubscribe people, you do realize that if you unsubscribe a channel, you're still going to see it in the recommendations. So it doesn't really do much. You know, that's fine. The governors need to be more caring for the 18.5 million businesses. This is true. We have to just be very careful. And I think that Sisolak's new plan to kind of be careful and kind of like watch specific zip codes and stuff, I think that's a good plan. I think it's a good way to be. Honestly, I do. I think that by looking at specific zip codes and trying to trace it and not crapping all over specific types of establishments, because honestly, in doing so, he admitted that he doesn't really know what kinds of businesses are the problem. He doesn't know. I only lost 4 subscribers over that rant, by the way. So he's admitting that we don't know the kinds of businesses we should be closing. That's fine. If you can get Steven to 800 likes, I'll do something special. Well, that won't happen. I won't even probably have 800 viewers on this. So it's impossible. It's impossible. Walmart sold out of bikes all of a sudden. I don't know why that is, William. I was thinking of maybe trying to buy a little scooter or something so I can have something to drive. The car has to go into the shop tomorrow. Ted Weens, don't do me wrong. On a different note, remember when opposing fans were going to boo the Houston Astros for a sign stealing, but can't remember anymore because stadiums will be empty? So much for that idea. Wow, that is an interesting one. CJ's daddy. And also they're canceling baseball games already because like 14 members of the Phillies or something tested positive. Click the thumbs up. It's right underneath the video you're watching and it is free. That's right. Please no all caps. I will talk in all caps if I want to, Howard. So you were at the strip last night. Did you recognize people adhering to the masks? I did, and I said that in my video today. I did see people adhering to masks, and it was nice and it was refreshing to see people adhering to the masks. Bikes are from China. Well, I mean, Schwinn bikes, I think, are made in Mexico. Some bikes are made in Mexico nowadays, too. Yeah, you're going to pay a lot of money if you get an American-made bike. But, you know, sometimes the quality is there. If you buy local, buy American. My friend got his bike stolen in front of a Walmart. Oh, my God. That's terrible, Jeff. I'm sorry to hear that. Looking forward to being in Vegas on August 31st. Very nice. Do it and let the English see you do it. I don't know what that was all about. There's so many shortages in businesses right now, and PA beer is running low. How is that even possible? My God. The Marlins are stuck in Philly. Man, I'm sorry about that. Beautiful background pic. Yes, this is a nice one. I like it. It's the Marlins. Okay, so Engineer Cat's correcting me. Very nice. My Red Sox got the crap kicked out of them by the freaking Mets. There you go. Let's see. I don't see why people hate on Steven. He's a down-to-earth guy, but they think they know my politics and then they unsubscribe. It's not worth it. It's not worth the fight, guys. Listen, there's going to be a battle. It's going to be waged. It's going to be not my battle. I'm not the person to pick that fight with. And I'm not the person that's going to fight you on it. I just want to get down to the bottom of why it took 5 months for them to say we have a plan. 5 months to have a plan. My God, like I said in that, okay? When Sisolak was running for governor and he wasn't elected, and he said, if elected governor, I'll tell you 5 months in what I'm going to do about the economy. I'm going to tell you 5 months in what we're going to do about all these issues. You probably wouldn't have voted for the guy. We have 329 people. If I can VWT everyone to like. Oh, get, you know, I see what it is. VWT, it's get, but it's, anyways, glad to be back. I'm glad that you are back, Lynn, if you're here. You're in the chat with me, which is very cool. Steven, turn on your AC before the phone overheats. I don't think it's going to overheat. I doubt it. By the way, my air conditioning is on right now, so that's a good thing. I wonder how the NFL will do this year. Delilah, I don't know. I'm not going to watch the NFL this year, okay? Can I tell you a secret? Here's the thing. Here I go again. Here we go again. I don't want to watch the NFL because I watch sports to get a break in reality, you know? And so if reality wants to protest, I can always watch the protests. We had them on the channel the other day. They were protesting. They were protesting their cause. And I understand those guys, they play a game that many millions of young kids dream of playing the game professionally, and they have an opportunity that very few small percentage ever have. And I understand if they want to go and do things on the side, but I just don't want to see it in my sports, and that's it. Baxter, your honesty is why I support your channel. Good on you. Listen, they have every right. Thank you, Baxter. They have every right to believe in their causes. Every right. But if I went and I worked at Walmart and I went to the Walmart and I started doing that in the store, Walmart might not keep me as an employee because people want to sometimes just shop and leave. Sometimes people just want to watch a football game. Sometimes people just want to watch baseball. I can find a protest. I can find a people with their causes. They're on YouTube. They're on the news. They're everywhere. So I don't think I'll be watching football because there's no fans, and that's going to be depressing as hell. And because I just don't have much of an interest in it right now, I'm working really hard. Where do you as Las Vegas residents shop clothing? Are you going to the outlets? Let's talk about Vegas. Yeah, I mean, the outlets are fine. I buy a lot of stuff online. Actually, my wife buys all my stuff online. So I don't even dress myself anymore. This is as good as it gets for me, and it's pretty pathetic. But I do have the face mask. If you guys want to support the channel, it's vegasfacemask.com. 2 for $25. This is my Vegas themed one. It's kind of funky because it's green right here, I think, so it's kind of being weird. But you guys can do that right there. Nobody is going to Walmart for the workers, sir. That's not my point. If you worked at a Walmart and you wanted to be political all over the place, they might not support that. They might tell you that when you're off the clock, you can say whatever you want. And they might not like that you do that during your shift. Okay. Just people just want to enjoy sports. Love your channel. I'm heading to Vegas Labor Day weekend, and I check your channel just about daily for news and updates. Thank you so much. I will go back to just the news, just the facts, ma'am. Your wife dresses you funny. That's okay, Darren. As long as she loves me, I don't have to worry about what you think, my friend. Great masks. I wear one daily. Thank you, Howard. We need to bring that back to our society. Agree to disagree, to respect each other's opinions, and stop the cancel culture. Every politician knows that businesses are causing the COVID spikes. It's every business where you are packed in like rats. They won't say or cause their benefactors won't let them say. That's true. Let's see. Excited about Allegiant Stadium. I am excited about the stadium. I think it's a beautiful, world-class, top-of-the-line facility that will have no people in it for at least a year. But I think it'll be nice. I think it's a shame that they won't cancel the Garth Brooks concert. George Strait recently canceled a series of concerts with no date for rescheduling here in Las Vegas. But they really need to cancel the Garth Brooks concert because right now you're just toying with people's emotions that they could possibly go and pack 65,000 people into a venue. Never going to happen. Let's see here. Let's see. My point is that NFL players have power. So if you as a, Black Mensch is getting political. I'm not going to go there. I have no right to speak about what an Asian person or an Indian American from India or a Native American. I can only speak for me, and I don't have the same experience as them. So that's what I've always said. If people feel certain things, I'm not going to tell them not to feel it. That's all. Show off the guns. Welcome to the gun show. No, CJ's daddy, I have no guns. I have little tiny water pistols on my arms right now. I used to have guns. I used to be in great shape. Maybe I'll show that on the Patreon, but that's way too me specific. Nobody cares about that stuff. Shut up and talk about Las Vegas. Packed like rats. My state is capping entrance to businesses to 40% or less, depending on square footage. Steve, we're supposed to be doing the same thing here. It's 50% for the businesses out here. Your channel is the best. Thank you so much. The demographics on your live stream last night seemed 21 to 35 years old. Mostly Cali drive-ins. Everybody is a Cali drive-in right now. If you guys want me to talk about demographics, get me to 200 likes. I'll tell you about what the demographics are coming here. And I have proof, and I know, and I can't tell you my source. What will it take for you to leave Vegas? Elliot says. I don't know. I mean, maybe I just get old and gray and I just want to go somewhere else. But I like this city. I don't see why I wouldn't always keep a home base here. But I'm not old and gray. I have no reason to leave right now. Vegas is still a great place to come to. Still a great place, you know, and I don't believe that Californians are ruining Vegas. I think that's a stupid thing that people say, personally. I like Californians. They're cool. You know, people are people. People are people, and I don't know the words. I can't even remember who sang that song. What a waste of a great YouTube personality to hide your views and play it safe to please the cancel culture, Debbie says. Debbie, I'm sorry. I'm not a giant channel and I'm not a political channel. And all I was saying is that I shouldn't have gotten political. I just don't want to split people into two. And right now, that's all you can do. And I'm just one 39-year-old guy who failed most of his life, and I'm trying to do something good, and I'm not going to try to change the world, because I'm not going to change people's minds no matter what I do. And you're not going to change somebody's mind. They're going to decide that you're a certain way. You're not going to do it by yelling louder than them. That's what everybody's trying to do right now. Depeche Mode, CJ's daddy says, tell us a bucket it's place you'd love to check out. Bucket list place you'd love to check out. Well, I have some big bucket lists. I mean, I've never actually been to the Grand Canyon. I've never been there. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I've never been down to Williams, Arizona. I've never been down to Route 6. I've been to Route 66, Kingman, Arizona. I would love to see all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things I've never done because I failed in Las Vegas. I lived the Vegas dream and I failed it over and over again. And just when I started building the channel up, this happened. So now I'm trying to struggle to get back to where I want to be. So somebody who's not panicked about the cost of his car repair tomorrow. Somebody who's not panicked when he has to spend a couple $100s to fix something for the household. That's where I'd like to be in my life. And it's tough. I had this really tough conversation with my boss who's been out of work for 2 weeks. And he's worried about me because he wants me to be some kind of a leader. So he says he's going to train me in the next several months. So when all of this lifts and he wants to go start a magazine in Nashville, he can put me in charge. That scares the hell out of me, but oftentimes fear is the best thing that you can have in your life, wouldn't you say? Williams is nice. They do an old-time reenactments. That's fun. Go to Dragon Man's Military Museum in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Man, that's a far ways away. You have created something great with your channel. You have an awesome personality, and your ability to be real is a big part of your draw. Be honest and real matters. We need more. Hey, listen, I guess maybe I should have probably given Sisolak a bunch of credit first. There's a way to approach things, Debbie, and I guess I just didn't do it correctly. Of that, the society is not. There is a lot of tribalism and polarization right now. I'm not going to get into it. Maybe I'll start another channel someday, and you know, if I have to have two channels, and the other channel will just talk about the way I see society right now and socio-ecological, not socio, just societal things, because I think there's something to our history, and we're on this journey, and we're on this path, man. And we're just barreling forward, not looking at where we've been in the past. And I think that's a big problem. So maybe I'll start another channel about that, and we'll keep that there and do this here. Why did Jeff's message get deleted by Howard Glickman? Jeff said, Martin D, try this one. Why are we talking about credit cards? Seriously. That's not good. Guys, don't post credit card information in the chat. You're bound to get banned by YouTube if you post credit card information in the chat. Do it privately. I don't recommend you do it at all. Please don't get banned by YouTube. That's a stupid thing to do. You're not stupid people. You made a stupid decision to do that. I've never been to Chicago. I'd like to see Chicago. Funny thing about Chicago and Las Vegas is that up until 1905, Chicago was the fastest growing city in America. And then from 1905 till 2005, Las Vegas was the fastest growing city in America. So they just kind of picked up. William asked if I'm tired. I'm tired. Yes, I am, but it's okay. Don't pass that info. Yeah, guys, don't pass info in the chats. Howard did the right thing by deleting that. I don't want to see anybody get kicked out of the chats. Wow, 500. I got 500 on the chats where we talk about Vegas and nothing else, but we'll veer off here and there. Black Mensch, no, I am not lying. I didn't then, and I will not vote Trump this year either. He's a narcissist, extremist, and I don't vote based on party alone. Debbie Omad's an independent thinker. That's good for her. Which house currently offers? I don't know which house offers 100 times craps odds. I've said on the channel before, I am not necessarily, you're not sorry, Howard, it's a good thing you deleted that. I'm not necessarily a gambling guy. There's lots of great gambling channels you can check out on YouTube. Okay, so Thomas says I can count on me on my channel. It's unbiased news and all things Vegas is vital to my future decisions. That's true, but what I was saying is earlier before in the podcast that I had to delete, I should have really just hammered on the positive aspects of what he did, and then we could talk about the negatives. So when you are a manager of people, and I've only done this once or twice, and I'm not a very good manager of people, it's a skill I need to learn. What you have to do is you have to give them a compliment sandwich. Hey, listen, I think your reports are really great. You smell really bad. You should wear shoes and a shirt at the office, and at the same time you're always early, so why don't you fix that thing in the middle? That's what we should have done. That would have been the better way to go about it. Favorite mixed drink at the casino. Well, I'm not a big drinker, but my wife always loves a Bloody Mary with salt on the rim, Absolute, and that's what she likes. Great backdrops. Yeah, we do these on the backdrops, but I got to get more of the strip in me. If it means that I just got to be away from it because I don't want to be near people that might be sick, then I'm going to start doing that. You saw that in the video today. Follow your heart and do the right. Remember, communications are difficult, but you do something good. You stopped yourself when you got derailed. And you got to do that event alone. I was way derailed in that last one. I was on a stupid madman rant. Who do I think I am? I'm not some thought leader. I'm just a guy on a chat, and I appreciate you being here with me on this weird journey I'm on. Was in Vegas last weekend, stayed at the Excalibur, had a fun time, was hoping you were going to go live on the Strip. I'm sorry I couldn't do that, Jer Cruise 804. I have to watch the numbers and the stats. Right now, the numbers are lower. Somebody in the chat today was like, in the comments on my last video said, you're lying, the numbers are not trending downward. No, they're trending downward. We were at like 12 or 1,300 last week. We're at about 800 or 900 this week. Steve, what's the point of, what is this? Somebody deleted that? Oh man, there's too many chats right now. So I missed that one. Steven, keep up the good work, bro. Thank you, Elias. California is backward in bankrupting the country morally, ethically, economically, politically. Well, I mean, that's your opinion. That's totally cool. The famous shit sandwich, Thomas says. That's the way it works, Thomas. Yeah, it's a curse word, but it's okay, guys. PG-13 channel, and I'm sorry they deleted that one. Yeah, it's the sandwich. That's how you have to do it. So let's see, Steve. I love you, Steve. You're real about what's going on, and I only watch you. That's fine. You guys should really watch other variety channels out there. There are some out there. I mean, there's Yellow Productions. He did a live stream tonight. I don't know what he was talking. He was talking about YouTube sponsorships or something. I don't have any of those. I just rely on you guys, and I have my Patreon. And then my wife makes the face masks, but that's her money, not mine. VegasFaceMask.com. I just work slave labor for her because I promised we would build something for her, and then this popped into our lap. Oh, I gotta fix my bead on the back. I'm moving to Vegas in August, Black Mensch says. I need a good neighborhood besides Henderson or Summerlin. Recommend a safe area, please. If you're moving here, you need a rental or you need to buy a home, you can always contact my realtor. Josh can tell you what's up. If you're buffering, the problem is on your end, Destroyer J. I'm sorry about that. I'm streaming at 9 megabits per second right now. I said try this one, give 16 fake numbers and a CVC code. They thought it was real. It's okay, Jeff. Yeah, we can't put that in. I'm just telling you not to put that information in because Google doesn't know the context. YouTube doesn't know the context. Whereas they might ban you. They might just delete your account and tell you that you're out. And that's artificial intelligence. Yellow Productions is cool. He is a very perky guy. He is absolutely. I can be a little dark. I can paint the dark islands and the dark horizons, and I don't want to do that all the time. Look at politicians living not in the district they don't live. The citizens don't complain. That is backwards. You know what's really funny about that? So check this out. My wife's from the Philippines, and their president in the Philippines can live at a palace up in Manila. He actually chooses to live in his home city where he was the mayor before he was. And, I mean, he lives in the home city. I mean, he stays in a small place when he's in Manila. He refuses to live at this presidential palace that they have. That's very interesting. Wall Street Warlord is here. He didn't see my last one. I melted down Wall Street Warlord. I had people telling me I'm a Trump guy and that I hate everything and this and that. And it all stemmed out because I said that this country has more tests than almost all the other countries in the European Union combined, and that we're not necessarily doing a bad job with the virus, but we have a different system over here where people can't really tell the states what to do. And then people got mad at me, and then I went on a rant, and then I deleted the rant, so you can't see that last video. Because I don't want to, I'm not here to slice people down the middle and put them into two different tribes. We do that too much. Supposed to come out Thursday, still a little undecided, Jerry. Jerry, I can't tell you what decision to make for you because you're an independent thinker. Duterte, socks on a duck, almost got it right. It's really hard to spell. What I will tell you is that if you don't have pre-existing medical conditions, if you don't have expectations of Vegas being like it was last July when you came out here, if you are just looking to see something other than the same four walls and the same path you've driven to work and the same convenience store you pop into to get your gas, if you want to eat some good food, you want to gamble a little bit, you want to see some cool water shows and water features and all that stuff, you're going to come to Vegas. You're probably going to get a decent deal on your room. Just come on the weekends, wear your face mask. You know, I got mine on from my wife, makes them. And wear your mask, use hand sanitizer, don't scratch your face, don't go, oh, my eyes are itchy. That's a bad thing to do. And wash your clothes, bring extra pairs of clothes, stick them in a plastic bag, take them home, burn them in a giant pit. No, don't do that last part unless you're rich. And have fun. But I can't tell you, if you have pre-existing conditions, if you have a family member that might get sick, like these are all very important considerations that nobody seems to talk about when making a decision to come to Las Vegas. Juice Lone Jimmy says, I'll monetize you. Juice Lone Jimmy, you sound like a guy from New York. So you walk around with like a Dr. Fauci type voice going, let me monetize you. It's going to be great. Yes, I know people. It's going to be fine. No, we don't break legs anymore. We just ruin you on social media. We just deplatform you. That's what we do nowadays. You either pay me or I out you as the wrong political party for your audience. That's what you do. Does the $20 sandwich actually work to get your rooms upgraded? Sure it does. However, consider this, man. Not a lot of people want to have cash right now. I have a theory on that. Yeah, I'm going to make a video on it. Do you guys want to know my theory as to why it's a theory, why there's a coin shortage? You want to know? I got 550 people. I'm going to do a separate video on this so you can tell me I'm cheating later and recycling. Frankie's here. Thank you, Frankie. Do you guys want to know why there's a coin shortage? Say yes. I tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why there's a coin shortage. If you guys want to know. Okay, Frankie, thanks. Not closing LV, you were right. Of course I was right. James, I'm not saying I'm right all the time. I'm not some sage, but it was not hard to figure out what they were actually up to. Dude, you're hilarious. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate you. If it's the first time here, Carlos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. So many of you guys, you watch my videos. You comment all the time. Now, if your subscriptions are public, I can see if you're a subscriber when you comment. So many of you guys aren't subscribed. Why aren't you subscribed? Well, you think that if you subscribe to this kind of channel, people are going to cancel you too? I don't think so. Can't cancel YouTube. Bono is too cool. See what I did there? All right, so here's why. I'll tell you why there's a coin shortage, I think. Okay. Now it goes back to Wuhan, China. Oh my God, I'm racist because I pointed out that that's where the virus comes from. Hey, newsflash, that's where the virus comes from. I'm not blaming Chinese people for a virus. I'm saying that's the origin of a virus, so shut up about that. In Wuhan, China, I've been watching this. So I started watching this scenario, knowing at the time I was working in timeshare on the Strip, wondering how it was going to impact Las Vegas. And did you try the backdrop uploaded? No, I didn't, Event Alone. I don't even see the backdrops. I know they're on there. I'll have to look for them, my friend. I appreciate them, whoever did them. If it was you, I appreciate you. They burned currency. See, they were dealing with this as far back as mid-November. And people were on Twitter talking about it. Some YouTubers were talking about it. Every time they talk about it, YouTube would demonetize them. They had a hard time. They would even let their video made like unlisted. It sucked. Their channels were hurt because of it because, hey, leprechauns, unicorns, pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's what YouTube wants. They don't want reality. But the reality is there was a terrible thing happening. And during this time, the Chinese government burned the equivalent of about $200 million of US dollars of Chinese currency. Why would they do that? Well, that's because they didn't want people to use paper currency. We call that fiat currency. I don't know what fiat currency is. It stands for, I know it's a car, but it's nothing to do with a Fiat car, okay? Fiat currency is old-fashioned paper money. They burned $200 million US equivalent of their own currency in China. I don't even know what the currency is called over there. Tell me in the comments below. So why would they do that? Because they knew that currency can spread viruses and germs. It's not some grand conspiracy about a cashless society. A lot of people are spinning that. Well, what most people don't know is that in this country we have a secret service, not originally to protect the president and the vice president, but originally because of counterfeiters. You see, back in the day, you ever heard there's an old term, don't take any wooden nickels. Because back in the day, you could take a piece of wood, cut it into a shape, soak it, stamp it, paint it, and then pass it along as counterfeits. But the president and the administration and the powers that be knew that if people didn't have faith in the money, if it was counterfeit, they didn't have faith in the system. People always go down to their checkbooks and their bottom line. Secret Service exists because of that. My point is this: you couldn't conceivably tell Americans not to use the currency. You couldn't burn the currency. So what do you do to get people to stop using the currency? It's simple. Let me ask you a question. Have you heard of any furloughs or layoffs at the U.S. Mint? Have you heard of anybody saying that I work and I make coins for a living, but I don't have a job anymore? I haven't. Have you heard of the mining industry completely shutting down for months and months at a time? Because I haven't heard of that one either. Maybe it did. I don't know. No, what you do is you just stop making the coins for a few months. Eventually, when merchants go to the bank and they say, I need $500 worth of quarters and I need $5,000 worth of cash, you give them the quarters and then you stop giving them the quarters, and then they use up the supply that they have. And then all the merchants say, oopsie, we have a coin shortage. Please use your cards. Please don't do anything but contactless payment with your phone. And that's how you get around creating a coin shortage so people don't spend any paper money because they can't give exact change out. And that's my theory on all that. I don't think it has anything to do with the U.S. Mint not being able to produce enough money. I don't think it has anything to do with a grand conspiracy to get us to be a cashless society. We're already heading that way. The advent of phones, contactless payment. I can pay with Samsung Pay. I can pay with Google Pay. You can pay with Apple Pay. That's already been there for a while. Younger people are using that all the time. It's a Chinese yuan. Okay. I think that is why we don't have coins right now. I think the government stopped making them, or they kept making them, and they just don't release them into the currency stream because they know that if they stop the retailers from being able to create exact change, the retailers are all going to want contactless payment, and you don't have the money circulating as much, and we have a better chance of stopping the germs. But that's my idea. You tell me. I don't know. So many ways to pay. I paid parking tickets with $500 in pennies, $200 in pennies. I've heard that. Knock, knock, who's there? WHO. Who? That's funny, Juice Loan Jimmy. I love it. Grow up, they want full control, hence why they end physical money. Good luck with Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have control by a central government. It's governed by blockchain. I don't know if I believe in it, but a lot of people do. You're right, Steven. I could be right. I don't know. It could just be that I'm a nut job and I have too much time to think on my hands. I appreciate your unbiased views and opinions. I'd still come to this channel for my Vegas updates. Keep doing you. Thank you so much. That's why I was saying all along, everything is digital pay. How do you give money to the homeless? That's a problem, isn't it, Game Dame? But hey, you know what? Depending on the jurisdiction you live in, we might have a solution for that. It's called free money for everybody, which is probably somewhere we're headed. Not maybe in my lifetime, maybe 50 to 100 years from now. But I really don't think that we're going to see a universal basic income anytime soon. It's just a number of different things. People need to be motivated to work right now. Bitcoin is based upon hype, Wall Street says. But, you know, Bitcoin is also based on a mathematical equation. It's the same idea as gold. You know, gold is a limited resource. And back in the day, they would mint coins out of bits of metal, and you know that a coin that weighs a certain amount was worth that much metal, and as the metal got more scarce, the value went up. That's why gold has hit all-time highs. I think gold has finally hit an all-time high. I think it's over $1,900 per troy ounce, and gold doesn't use the same ounces as we use for measuring our food. It uses a different type of ounce. So gold goes up in price. Well, Bitcoin is based on a mathematical equation. There's only so many mathematical equations that can happen, and once that happens, we have one set price for Bitcoin. And it's on the blockchain, which is a mathematical calculation that has accountability. Blockchain could have applications in things like real estate and tracking different things like cars. It's not just a Bitcoin thing. Anyways, silver up 29% this year. Exactly, it's a limited resources. My Bitcoin went up today, William says. Probably everybody's Bitcoin's going up lately. Geez, all the stock market is based on hype right now. Popular stocks are doing well because of name recognition and not hype. Goicher, so yes, and to a point, Intel is down because they can't follow through on deliveries because they have massive manufacturing problems. AMD, Nvidia, tech stocks are up because everybody's looking at tech to be the solution for working and being away from home and stuff like that. Steven, when can we move on to discussing Las Vegas cats? Blackjack sighting requested. He's not even near us, Steve D, but there is a big cat show coming to Las Vegas. I have to look this up for you guys. So, Magic Show with Cats, Las Vegas, new. There's a new show with cats coming to Las Vegas. Let's see what we got here. We have... No, I'm looking for it right now. There's a new guy coming in from Montana, and he's building a big thing. Here it is from 3 days ago, KTNV Las Vegas. Animal advocates call Tiger Tent Show on the Las Vegas Strip a tale of big money disregarding for local laws. There's a new tiger show coming to the Las Vegas Strip. Did you guys know this? I know this because I see the news, and they send me news on the Review Journal. County commissioners approved the tent show despite opposition from the public and members of the county staff. Animal welfare activists are up in arms, suspicious as to how this deal went through. The tigers are all majestic. The illusion's amazing and quite the spectacle. Well, spectacular. So there's a guy from Montana. His name is Jay Owenhouse, and he's a magician. And he won approval to set up a 6-month show on a parcel of land by the Mandalay Bay Convention Center and in the shadow of McCarran Airport. So he's going to build a giant, huge tent, 150,000 square foot type of place, and you're going to have a new magic show in Las Vegas whenever we open up shows in Las Vegas. Does that make you guys excited? Are you excited to see another Tiger King come into Las Vegas? Now, to his credit, Mr. J. Owenhouse has one USDA violation in his entire time of owning the cats. He owns them up in Montana. And his violation was because after a certain age, you're not supposed to pet the cats or let people that aren't the cat handlers pet them, and he did that one time. So he has no other animal rights violations according to the USDA. Does that excite you guys? Would you guys see it? He's nothing to do with Tiger King. This guy's never been on the Tiger King. He's not on Netflix. He's just a magician with some exotic animals that wants to open up a show here. Pretty crazy. Did Carol Baskin kill her husband? I don't know. Only the shadow knows. I don't know. I don't know that answer to that. You watch Netflix. It's one of those things that's supposed to subvert your expectations. It does just that, and it makes you wonder. It makes you think. It's a thing that makes you go, So let tigers be wild, 69 says. Mr. Steve, I 1000% believe you can do this as a podcast as well. You got it, bro. Chacho. What does chacho mean? Bro chacho? Bro chacho. I had somebody from Hawaii call me broham once. Saw a really cool tiger magician years ago, the great Dirk Arthur. He was totally amazing. Very cool. Okay, here we go. Sell your Bitcoin is nothing but a pyramid scheme. When they pull the rug out from everybody's feet, everyone will lose everything. Ooh, my goodness. No, I wouldn't want to see that type of show, Debbie says. Cat, a tiger did it. She got rid of the body. Maybe. Obviously. Good night, Reno. Reno is leaving us, but that's okay. We will see her in another chat, in another day, another time. Podcast is a step backwards, Goitier says. Well, here's the thing. If I just took the audio from this, it becomes a podcast. Actually, podcasting might be considered a step backwards, but Spotify thinks that Joe Rogan is a step forwards, paying him $150 million. Now, I'm not a $150 million man. Joe Rogan has a certain je ne sais quoi, as the French say. And I just try my best to emulate those kinds of people, although Joe doesn't talk as quickly as me. Hello, just came back from work in Massachusetts here. I never say that state correctly. I'll just call it Mass. I want the market to crash again so I can buy again, Linda says. Linda is going to buy when the market's low and sell when it's high. Is the Rio opening? Donna says, I have no idea what's up with the Rio. Podcasts can make serious money. You guys have to remember, podcasts are more accessible to a lot of people than a YouTube live stream is, or a YouTube podcast, because YouTube, if you don't pay money, you have to be watching the video all the time. Let's say you're a trucker, you're driving, you can download a podcast, it's locally saved to your phone, you can listen to that thing, or you're jogging or whatever, you're on your treadmill doing your thing. As long as you're wearing your face mask from vegasfacemask.com, I don't care how you consume the content. 2 for $25. The wife makes them just for you. So as long as you're consuming and you're doing your thing, and you should not be running around wearing a face mask, by the way. It always just, I see people riding bikes, they're huffing and puffing and they're wearing a face mask. What are you afraid of? The virus is not going to get in you if you're by yourself riding a bike, people. Use your common sense, please. Steve, have you ever thought about doing a Vegas ventriloquist act with blackjack? Well, I think it would work as long as I'm wearing the mask. Look at me, I'm the world's best ventriloquist. Lorna is here. Thank you, Lorna. I am buying hotel stocks. Win Las Vegas Sands, Joe R. Las Vegas Sands posted a $900 million loss, but you got to keep in mind that also the market likes Las Vegas Sands because Sheldon Adelson is a very good business person and he's not going to stay unprofitable forever. And most of that loss actually came from his foreign-owned investments, like the Las Vegas Sands over in, was it Taiwan or Singapore? Blackjack should run the live stream one time. It would be rather boring. What's the cleanest, strictest hotel in Vegas for a high-risk person like myself, William says. I would say probably the Wynn is probably a better solution than most people. I hear that they're the only ones that have said that they're laundering their laundry in super high temperature waters and whatnot. And I've heard some good things about the Wynn. Sheldon is going to be clean. It comes down to religion with Sheldon. He's Jewish, and his hotels are generally very, very clean because he kind of caters to that crowd. And Jewish religion, they have a lot of different cleanliness standards. So I imagine his is very clean as well. Linda says, I'm ordering a mask. Cool. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, don't go to the Travel Lodge. I would avoid the Motel 6. These are the small little cockroach type hotels. And I'm not saying they have cockroaches, but I'm saying that if you want to have cleanliness, you have to go with the properties that have the money to back up what they're saying. And I don't know if the Travel Lodge owner has that. I don't know if the Motel 6 owner has that. Be interested to interview them on the channel. Have you ever thought of shaving your goatee? Rick says, I actually did the first 12, 13, 14 months of this without any kind of facial hair, so I do have my baby face on camera when I was a lot thinner. I'm afraid of shaving it now because I'm a lot fatter. I love watching other YouTubers' worst experience in Vegas. I don't know why, it's just so interesting. Yeah, that's some good variety for the channel. Mosher Hotel, Sheldon. I don't know the term. I don't know Yiddish. Johnny G is a Jew. Oh, now's the time of the chat where I tell you that if you say anything anti-Semitic, I'm going to kick you out permanently myself. We don't go that way here. Sheldon Adelson is going to turn around the Venetian and Palazzo once the vaccines arrive. Sheldon is the best. Met him. Totally classy individual. Very nice. When will you make a new stream for Summerlin or Henderson? Good question. I could go out to Summerlin. We went out to downtown Summerlin and Red Rock. I did Red Rock twice, once on the 4th of July, once about a month prior. The second stream, they shut me down in the hotel. So that had to go and not be on the stream. But we could do Summerlin. Summerlin's an interesting little place. It's there's a lot of people in Summerlin that wouldn't like you streaming through their filming because there's a lot of nice areas in Summerlin, a lot of gated things. Luxor should add or not tear down. Okay. I bet Wynn went to Epsteins Island. What do you bet? Why would you say that? Oh my gosh, we're not going to talk about that. That's so un-PG-13. It's not even funny. Do you abs? I have fat on my belly right now. So no, I did back in the day. I used to be pretty lean. I stayed in at least 10 different hotels during the blank, and everyone has higher standards of cleanliness. Very nice. Boulder City might be nice. You know, live stream Boulder City. Not a lot to live stream in Boulder City. Maybe one little strip of land doesn't make for an hour-long live stream, that's for sure. Anything about the Mirage? Still sounds like it's on track to open either the first or second week of August. We'll have to see. Travelodge is where you wonder when someone's going to kick in your door and rob you. Yeah, give me the money. They're banging on your door. Now, I mean, Travelodge in the middle of the strip is pretty decent. I can tell you this. As a local, I'm not allowed to stay there. One year, the wife was like, you should book the Travelodge on New Year's Eve. I called up. They said, if you have a local ID, you're not allowed to stay at the Travelodge for that same reason. Whoever went to Epstein's Island is a sicko. I think so, CH. That guy was into all sorts of bad stuff. He was out there basically blackmailing people. He had people give him an $8 million mansion to live in for just why? Because he's such a good guy. Yeah, he was blackmailing everybody. But we'll never find out. You know why we'll never find out? Because he has so much dirt on everybody. And if he let the dirt out, who let the dirt out? We would see the world change as we know it. Our eyes would be open as to what the elites do. You know, I once had somebody tell me that they knew a lot of famous people, and that famous people get bored because they have more money than they could ever come up with, and then they want really freaky stuff. And that sucks. How far is Area 51 from the Strip? It's a couple of 100 miles out there to get to Area 51, but it's also technically part of Nellis Air Force Base. You'll never get close enough to Area 51 to see anything. Last year when the storm Area 51 was happening in September, a couple of European bloggers thought it would be a good idea to go out there. They got their day. Yeah, they got their clicks and their publicity. They also got put in prison and had their visas revoked from ever coming back to the United States for 10 years, and they sent them back home. They did interviews with them from the Clark County Detention Center. Comparing a gambling stream and Vegas talk. Why? I don't know. Was I doing that? I don't think so. Would stay at the Bates Motel. Right. That was a good show. They did the Bates Motel with Freddie, what's his name? The kid that looks like a kid for the rest of his life. Yeah, so that's not going to work, Shayla, Shim. Please subscribe my channel. Yeah, that's automatically being held by review. We're not doing sub for sub here. That's obnoxious. Nobody wants to subscribe you. Make some good content and then grow your channel organically. That's what the best of them do. I'm not saying I'm the best of them, but that's what I had to do. Do you believe aliens? Can somebody get rid of Shayla, Shim, please? Just kick him because he doesn't want to listen to anybody. Get him out of here. I don't want to see his comments. He's just begging for subs. That's not what you do, guys. Make good content. Make something that people want to watch. Do you believe that aliens exist? Speaking of Area 51, Rachel Donald, I would be very short-sighted if I didn't think that the universe was infinite and that there are things that we don't know about. So whether you agree in a creator in the form of God or you think that a Big Bang happened, there's most likely life that we don't know about out there. The warehouses for the faster than light crafts are in a different area. Yes, they are. I know a lot about that, but I can't say anything. Me too, Elijah. Did you get your stay? Okay, so nice site. Okay. Are there any casinos in Henderson open? I'm sure. I think maybe. I don't know. I mean, I know that the, which one is? I think Sunset Station is open. We were down in Henderson the other day. So the Mirage, like the Rio, is booking rooms starting August 6th, which is nice. Yep. I mean, they're unrelated. The Mirage is MGM Resorts International, and the Rio is Caesars. So they're unrelated. I'm glad that they're firing up. Area 51 is 84 miles away from the Strip. Okay, so it's not a couple hundred, and I was wrong. I've only been out there once. We went out to the extraterrestrial highway. I don't know what state route it's called. We went up to Alamo. It's a beautiful area. You go up the Great Basin. It's a beautiful place. It's very nice. Green Valley open. I think the district of Green Valley is open. I believe the resort's open. The only resorts that aren't open right now are the Palms, the Texas Station, and I think one of the Fiestas is not open. Is Hoover Dam open? I don't know that for sure. I'd have to look it up for you guys. I know that you can drive over Hoover Dam, get out and walk around, but I don't know for sure if you can actually go out there and do anything in terms of you know, going into the visitor center and whatnot. Can I pay extra for a deep clean at the Wynn? I don't know. You'd have to text them just to get your room cleaned every day, but they should be deep cleaning everything is what they claimed. Watbury says the Rio was sold. Yeah, the Rio got sold to new owners. It's a group out of New York City. The name escapes me right now, but the Rio is still being managed by Caesars for at least 2 years. So it's not going to change anything for you. And the World Series of Poker, if it ever returns, should be there and everything. Did you see the interview with the CEO from Venetian? Well, Sheldon Adelson is the CEO of the Venetian, and I'm not seeing any Adelson interviews anytime soon unless it was a different person. Adelson doesn't really give interviews. I wanted to do an interview with him, and I was told not to even bother with it. Hoover Dam is closed. Okay, gambling not legal in Boulder City. This is true. Boulder City doesn't have legalized gambling. The reason being, when they built it up, it was originally the Boulder Dam, and the unions came in because part of the contract was we're supposed to build a permanent city for the people building the dam as a multi-year project to build the Hoover Dam. They didn't. These people were living in tents in the 115-degree Nevada desert. And so they came in, the unions came in from the East Coast and said, we're going to unionize you guys. And if you guys don't get your place, you're going to strike. So they built a city, they called it Boulder City, and they didn't allow gambling at Boulder City because they didn't want the employees that were at the dam getting paid a lot of the times daily wages from what I recall. I think that's right. They didn't want them gambling it all away and then being broke, right? Because people moved here just to get hired for the Hoover Dam. It was one of the big make-work projects in the 1930s when the recession was in full force. It was the Depression, not even a recession. And so they still to this date don't have gaming that's legal at Boulder City. Now, that's not to say you can't play poker in your basement. Love the backdrop. Did you take that picture? Oh, no. This is a very old picture, as a matter of fact. If you look over my shoulder that away, you can actually see this is the construction of the city center happening behind me with those cranes. That's a very old picture. But thank you so much, Army Joe. So what they did was they outlawed it. Now, about 14, 15 years ago or so, somebody wanted to come out and buy the entire city. There was a developer. They tried to buy it so they could change the laws, but the city said no to it. The city council said no, and nothing was possible. Hi, honey, how are you? My wife is showing me some new face masks. I'll show you guys on the channel later on. They built this city on rock and roll and on boulders. Mark, everything is connected. You can't drive on Hoover Dam anymore. You have to use the new bridge. Oh, I did not know that you can't drive on it anymore. See, it shows you guys that I don't get around as much. I got to get the car fixed. We want to go to the extraterrestrial highway. We want to blog all this stuff for you guys. What other NV towns don't have casinos? Paul, as far as I understand, there is nowhere else. See, the thing is, the federal government owns most of the land. It's basically Nevada was started as a, well, Nevada was founded so Abraham Lincoln could win the election. That's why it's called the battle-born state. We didn't take place in the Civil War. We didn't take part in the Civil War, but the battle-born state was because it was basically sworn into the into the entire statehood so they could get electoral state votes, because Abraham Lincoln at the time was afraid that he would not be reelected during the Civil War. Turns out we didn't need the electoral votes from Nevada. But the most expensive Western Union telegraph ever sent was the telegraph that telegraphed the entire Constitution of the state of Nevada all across the wires to Washington, D.C. Thousands and thousands of words, the most expensive one ever sent back of all time. And so this was actually a place where the government owned most of the land. They still do. And, for example, there was a big, huge naval disaster in New Jersey back in the day where a ship did not stop. It went into an armament storage facility, explosions, hundreds of people died. So what did they do? They found a lake up in northern Nevada, created the town of Hawthorne for a place to store armaments. I mean, there's so much bizarre stuff all across the state. I could drive across the state and bring you guys stories, short films, little tiny bits of information, but it's not all Vegas stuff. State of Nevada is a very big place, but nobody wants to see that, I don't think, because I've seen other bloggers try it. They go out to the three, whatever it's called, the three lions or whatever, that those weird pillars. Nobody watches those videos, so I figure you guys all just want to hear about the casinos, and that's what I'll bring you guys, because we don't want to make people get bored on the channel, right? How much revenues do the casinos make each year? I read somewhere that they were making somewhere in the area, I can't remember, I think it was like $15 million a day or something like that on average. So, I mean, I don't know, you go 15 million, 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 365. I mean, what is that? That's a 5 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $5 trillion. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. That can't be right. I got the wrong math. I'll find out the math for you. So what I just said, it's total BS. Don't listen to me. Carson City versus Reno to stay at near Lake Tahoe. Oh, Carson City. Simple. Stay in Carson City. It's a beautiful city. It's the state legislature's up there. It's a beautiful small town. Lots of nice little small restaurants. And all you got to do is drive over the ridge line to get there. So you got to go up... what's it called? I can't remember. There's a road that goes up and switchbacks, and then you're just right in Lake Tahoe. Otherwise, you go to Reno, you got to drive like 40 minutes to an hour. State of Nevada, sure how lots of different weather climates. It does have a lot. I mean, you have Winnemucca up north where it's volcanic and they grow potatoes and onions, and it gets down to 20 below zero in the wintertime. Is that how you say it? Canadians say 20 below, minus 20. That's what they say in Canada. You have obviously here the high desert, when you got Laughlin on the other side where it's even hotter. Then you have the Great Basin where it's more moderate. You have Mount Charleston where it's usually 20 degrees cooler and they have 10 to 15 feet of snow in the wintertime. There's so much more varied stuff here, The 169 large casinos in Las Vegas and Clark County reported that income of $1.9 billion from revenue of nearly $22 billion. So there you go. We just have to do the math backwards. I didn't do the math. Booking Carson City now. Carson City is a nice place, trust me. It's a nice place. You'll be shocked at what Carson City actually looks like. There's tons of agriculture. It's a very nice place. Then there's Death Valley. Yeah, right. So Death Valley is generally in California. When you drive the border of California and Nevada, you will be right on the border of Death Valley. Like, they developed the stealth bomber in Las Vegas. They've done all sorts of crazy things here. Do you have any grasshoppers like last year? I don't know. Some Vegas blogger did another video on grasshoppers. I have not seen any. Honestly, the news is not reporting it. There hasn't been any rain. We had our first rainfall in 89 days the other day. Grasshoppers generally don't thrive unless you have a lot of rain, and we haven't had a lot of moisture. So another Vegas blogger said that the grasshoppers are back. Where? Where are they? I go out all the time. I live in an area that should have tons of them. There's about 5,000 square feet of grass in my backyard. It gets watered every damn day. There's no grasshoppers that I can see, but hey, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there are grasshoppers and it's not just something for clicks. Let's see here. Fandango's Carson City. Carson City has some cool stuff there. I mean, you got a Walmart store in there. You got some good shopping, some good buffets you don't find down here. There's a couple of neat little casinos up there. I'll be in Reno in a few weeks, then I'll fly into Vegas. Very nice. Bruce, watch out for the takeoff and landing in Reno. It is a pain in the butt. Kung Fu Thai restaurant. That's one of our favorite Thai places. Let's see here. Grasshopper snatched the pebble from my hand. Oh, you're talking about this. Yes, then you got it. That's what it is. Don't see any other channels, Event Alone says. Oh, I don't know about that. No, I'm just kidding, Event Alone. Murder hornets, they don't live down here. Murder hornets are not even a problem. It was just something that the news came up with around the COVID time. So yeah, murder hornets don't live in Nevada. It's not hot. It's not moist enough. They don't have enough trees. They like rainforests from Japan. That's where they live in. Okay, and let's see, Reno has the GSR casino. I've seen the layout for the Virgin Hotel. Looks like it's going to be interesting, but not sure if it's going to be interesting enough. I've not seen it, Goicher. I should probably cover that. That was from a year ago. He just recapped it. You know, I did a video on Chinatown in a market, and people accused me of just putting in filler content when that video took me several hours to edit and film. And so, I don't know, man. I'm going to try to keep up the new stuff for you guys, try to get my brain pumping overtime. So when I go off caffeine for a few days, I can sleep like 4.5, 5 hours and wake up like a jolt of electricity through me, and it's awesome. So I hope to get back to there because I got to do all my videos in the morning. My boss at work, he's concerned because he took 2 weeks off because he thought he had COVID, and his test came back negative, but he had all the symptoms, so who knows. And so he says he wants to teach me to be a better leader. So that will be something good, and I'm looking forward to it. And at first I got all worried and all paranoid that he didn't like me, and then I realized, stop doing that, man. That's what you made a video about. Just got home from Tahoe yesterday. I used to live in South Lake Tahoe for about 1.5 years. I lived on near Ski Run Boulevard. It's a nice place. Yeah. So where are you? Reno is in Canada. We are here for you, Reno. Las Vegas should be the capital of Nevada. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. The state capital is beautiful up there. It makes sense. It's in a better place. Vegas is shutting down again. No, is Vegas shutting down again? No. No, I think we covered that today in a previous video. In the last episode of Not Leaving Las Vegas. Email me, let's talk. I don't know who's talking to me right now. There's too many people in the chat. Just some Yahoo on a camera. Look, man, I see channels with 200 subscribers that pull 200 live streamers watching, and I get 544, and I appreciate you guys a lot. A lot. And Lorna, that was one of the smaller markets. There are much bigger markets out there, man. Favorite Filipino restaurant in Vegas? Right now it's D Pinoy if you want to get something that's expensive. If you want to get something cheap, it's Cocina ni Lorraine. Cocina is spelled with a K. Cocina, Kusina, Lorraine, just means Lorraine's kitchen. And there's also Nanay Gloria's. It's the same ownership group for the two of them. Stephen, have you ever been to Tunica, Mississippi or Biloxi, Mississippi? No, I've not. I've not been anywhere in that part of the country. My experience in the states I've been to New York State, I've been to Nevada, California, Montana, Utah, Arizona, Washington. Those are the places I've been to in the United States. Okay, let's see. Need a Portuguese food there. There are some, there's arepas. That's not Portuguese. That's like somewhere else. I can't remember. Thank you, Stephen, for all you do. Hit the like button. Thank you guys for being you. I appreciate y'all. Bobby Fischer is in here pimping out his payday loans. Don't do that, Bobby. It's not going to ever be approved. You're just wasting your time and the digital resources you have. Has anyone ever done the tour of the Gold and Silver Pond? I wanted to do that. Richard Wilkes said he could get me on the show as long as I have an awesome Vegas type thing or a unique, not even Vegas thing. He says, get me something unique. I can pitch it to them for you, but I don't have anything unique enough to give them, so I will not be on the Gold Silver. I could be on the TV show. All I would need would be somebody to lend me an item. I don't even have to sell it to them. I just need something amazing, over the top, that could get me on the show. And then I can go in as Steven from Not Leaving Las Vegas, and I can be on Pawn Stars. He said he would vouch for me and try to get me on the show because he says he's got connections. As you know, Richard Wilk did that video on Behind the Scenes of Pawn Stars, and he takes care of those guys, and he's friends with Chumley and Rick Harrison and everybody else. So, you know, if I had something really cool, that I could be like, these scissors are the scissors that were used to cut the hair of Albert Einstein. That wouldn't go over well. These come from a dollar store. I have a lot of scissors on my desk. Here's another pair of scissors. There's another pair of scissors. Why do I have so many scissors on my desk? I was doing face mask stuff. My God, it's ridiculous. Where do you go in New York? Well, I lived in Niagara Falls, Canada, so we would always go to Niagara Falls, New York, Rochester, New York, mostly upstate. My old man never took us to Manhattan. Back in the day, it was a bad place for families. We're talking 1986 to 1991. So you didn't want to bring your kids to Times Square back then. It wasn't a good place. Giuliani came in, and Ed Koch started kicking ass, and Giuliani continued kicking ass, and now it's a nice tourist destination. Don't run with the scissors. Chumley in jail? I don't know about that. He got in trouble a few years ago for having weapons and drugs at his house. But you know what? He's got money, and he's got a good lawyer, and that's what happens. Hi, John. Yes, I lived here, so cut it up. Yeah, Steve, please do give a shout out to my good friend Mari. Hey, Mari, Carlos Kerr is watching, and he wants you to get a shout out. Thank you guys for that. Caroline, make a miniature Vegas designer face mask for silky terriers. Yeah, but you don't want to put a face mask on your dog, do you? Would your dog even wear it, or would it just eat it? Very nice. All right, guys, you guys have been great. We've been an hour plus the other 20 minutes that I had to delete and suspend. So thank you guys for tuning in to me tonight. We'll do a nice pragmatic after I've slept on it, kind of recap of Sisolak's edicts and orders. We will count on the positives he's done as well as the negatives to keep it fair and balanced, because that's the only way to be. You guys are great. We got to thank all of the superstars in the chats tonight. We got to thank our level 1 local Las Vegans who actually chat and watch with us, our level 2s, which are our moderators, our level 3s, who are Martin D, Mr. Classic TV 1980, Jersey T, Jack Batterson, Paul Rotter, Baxter BDD, CJ's Daddy, Elliot L, Frankie, Lorna Genix, Army Joe 98, and Herbert Daughtry. We have to thank all of our Patreon members, so they're our local level 4s. And you guys can always check out the Patreon if you guys want to. It's notleavinglasvegas.com/Patreon. We'll take you there. We have vegasfacemask.com. These are like some serious next level face masks. So let me do mine up and make it tight in the back. Oh, it's so nice. The wife makes them. She ships them out. Expect 2 to 3 weeks to get your delivery. You guys are great. Thanks so much for watching me. Thanks so much for supporting me. I am very tired. I need to go eat some kind of food, and you guys are great. All right, so like, share, subscribe. We'll talk to you in another one. Head up over to the Facebook group. It's called Not Leaving Las Vegas. And if you haven't subscribed and you're just watching, consider doing that. That helps you out. It costs you $0.00. We have to go. 3, 2, 1, click. You guys are great. Oh my God, Richard Wilk is in the chat. Oh my God, did Richard Wilk hear when I said that I could get on Pawn Stars possibly if I had a unique item? Oh no. Yeah, so I was telling everybody, Richard, that you said that you might be able to get them interested if I had a really unique item. And I was thinking if I had something over the top, I could possibly pitch it to them and be on the show. And that would be amazing. And I hope I didn't break your confidence by telling him that, but I thought it would be interesting. He's been here the whole time. Richard Wilk might not want to ever talk to me again. I don't know if I was supposed to say that. Anyways, yeah, that's something I'm still searching. I'll be like, this is the brush that Abraham Lincoln or George Washington used to brush his wooden teeth, but that probably wouldn't go over well anyways, so that's it. This is the battery that fueled America through the recession. See, these are things that I don't know, These are the beads that my wife uses on her face masks. Nobody cares about that kind of stuff. Anyways, you guys are great. I do have to go because I have to pee, and that's why I'm wavering so far back and forth. Yeah, it's free to subscribe. You guys are great. 3, 2, 1, click me out, Rockapella. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and click.